Wow. Wow. So lawyers do make a lot of money.
Yeah, they do.
If you want to become a lawyer, whether you're a student that is studying law or you want to transition from a different profession into the law profession, then you are going to want to watch this video to the end. Because in this video, I happen to bump into one of the most successful advocates that is practicing law in South Africa, Advocate Maseti. Advocate Maseti was able to share with me a step-by-step process on how to become a successful lawyer in South Africa. You are watching the Financial Metaverse. This gentleman over here is someone you'd like to know. Someone you'd want to be in your corner. This man here.
Are we on now?
You are on now.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'm a lawyer. That's the only thing I do.
Okay.
I'm a farmer.
Yeah.
Well, that's a side hustle
Right.
that I have.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What does it take to be a lawyer in South Africa?
Guts, a little bit of intelligence, and focus.
Right.
Yeah, and focus.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you deal with the matters as and when they are brought to your attention.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this for?
For the past 21 years, I've been doing the same thing over and over again.
Wow.
And I'm good at it now because I've been doing it over and over again.
That's a very long time.
Yeah.
You must enjoy what you do.
Yes, I do. Yes.
What is the most enjoyable thing about being a lawyer in your experience?
It is to find something which was always hidden and bring it to the fore.
Okay.
Where it could not be denied because it is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously to be a lawyer, you need to have a degree in South Africa, but what else goes into getting to qualify to be a lawyer? Can you know, for someone who's interested in the field, what are the steps that one needs to take?
Well, for me, it took a long way. At first, I had to have a BProc degree. Later on, an LLB postgrad degree, and that was accompanied by 1 year of pupillage, which is a practical training of an advocate, and then you register yourself with one of the constituent bars of the General Council of the Bar of South Africa, and that's where I am. Previously, I was in KwaZulu-Natal Society of Advocates in Durban, and now I'm with the Bishop Society of Advocates. Those chambers are in Islam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like a very long route.
Yes, it was a long route, but currently the route has been shortened.
Okay.
You only need to do 4-year LLB degree. Then you can either be an attorney or be an advocate. It's the same qualification now for both professions.
Okay.
Meanwhile, during my time, it was BProc for attorneys, juris for prosecutors, LLB, postgrad LLB for people who are aspiring to become advocates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between being a lawyer and an attorney, or are those terms like used interchangeably?
No, everyone who is trading in law, we call them lawyers. Whether they are judges, magistrates, attorneys, advocates. But there is a difference between an attorney and an advocate. Attorneys, their practice in general then goes around the magistrate court bench, whilst advocates generally they appear in the High Court. But you should remember that advocates have got a right of appearance even in the law court, which is the magistrate court. And for an attorney now to appear in the High Court, he or she has got to be certified, got to make an application to the registrar, which gives them the right of appearance. But with advocates, that right becomes automatic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need more experience to be an advocate, or doesn't it?
You can, straight from university, be an advocate. But all the bars in the country, they would rather prefer somebody who's got a little bit of experience, either as an attorney prosecutor or a magistrate,
Right.
for them to have that person as a member in their group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for someone who wants to be a lawyer, what can they expect to earn when they are starting out?
Well, if you want to become an attorney, I know some firms of attorneys who give a paltry amount of 3,000 rand a month, up to 7,000 rand a month. If you get 7,000, it means there's a sponsor that particular firm is getting to ensure that it keeps the candidate attorneys, on board. But for advocates undergoing privilege, they are not paid even 1 cent.
What?
For the whole year. But there are benefits in the sense that if you manage to have a hot hand in the profession, in other words, you manage to make a name for yourself like immediately, you could earn big bucks even in the very first few years of your practice.
Okay. Yeah. What is big bucks? Can you give us an idea?
Well, in our profession, there are people now who are charging up to 60,000 rand a day. And you find senior juniors who are charging up to 30,000 rand a day. Yes, just senior juniors. And
that sounds like a contradiction in terms, senior, junior. What?
Well, we have what we call in our profession baby juniors. Okay. Those are the guys who have just started out, who have just qualified. They become baby juniors in 5 years of their practice. Post 5 years, we consider them to be senior juniors. And they'll become senior juniors until they attain the status of senior counsel. Then once they're senior counsel, they're considered as seniors. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I hear you. So you're saying those can charge upwards of 30,000 a day? Yes, a day. Wow. A day. More than 3,000 rand per hour. Wow. Yeah. Wow. So lawyers do make a lot of money. Yeah, they do. Again, it depends on one having a hot hand in the profession, in that you establish a reputation, the whole country knows you, you are the guy who is sought after. Okay. Otherwise, you can be a nobody, even though you are 30 years into the profession. Nobody takes you seriously. Okay. Yeah. But you can be named to the record, even if you're 5 years into the profession, depending on those 3 things. Little amount of intelligence, focus, and the determination to succeed. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now tell me, what branch of law would you say is more lucrative, or is there a branch of law that's more lucrative than another? All branches of law are lucrative. Okay. All of them. The field is wide and ready to harvest. Okay. All of them. You find in our profession people who would never touch civil work. They are mainly criminal lawyers. Like Lawrence Hodesesi, he is #1 in the country today when it comes to criminal matters. That guy is a sought-after guy. You find him today in Bloemfontein, you find him tomorrow in Cape Town, you find him a day after tomorrow in Johannesburg. So the whole country would love to have a piece of Lawrence Hodesesi. Okay. Yeah, so it goes on like that. You establish a reputation, you work hard on it, and once you have established your niche, then you tell yourself and tell the world that is where I would be applying my trade in this particular field of law. Right. And you run with it. Wow. Wow, that sounds quite fascinating, and I've always been fascinated with the profession of law. Would you say there is a demand for lawyers in South Africa at the moment? There will always be demand. Even right now, there is a demand. the field will never be exhausted.
Mm.
There will be always an opportunity for even the startups to have something to do.
Mm.
And again, depending on whether one is endowed with a little bit of intelligence, with a little bit of focus and determination, then the field will always be right to harvest.
Wow. And lastly, if a young person who is considering going into law is watching this interview, what advice would you give them? How would they get the best possible chance to make it into that industry?
Well, number one, you have to be so diligent in your studies. You don't leave things to chance. You get good grades in matric, which would enable you to have a university entrance. Not only university entrance, because you may have that entrance, but still, when it comes to points, you'll still be far behind. You need to be up there with the big points in order for universities to accept you. And once at university, you don't play. You go there, you enjoy it, work hard, you pass year after year, and you would then make it into the profession. And it doesn't matter whether one is from a poor background, from a well-off background, all are those three attributes, and the world will become their own.
Wow. Thank you. That was very insightful.
Right. Thanks a lot.
You'd help a lot of people.
Sure.
Sure. If you found value in this content, please consider liking the video or leaving a comment below letting me know what you thought about this interview. Most importantly, please subscribe and hit that notification bell and look out for this video.
I can feel the pain on my back, yeah. Keep on taking pills every day, yeah. Trying to be pain on my back, yeah. Still trying to change on my face, yeah. I can feel the pain on my back, yeah. Keep on taking pills every day, yeah.